Good evening and welcome to the June 8th, 2015 meeting of the Revere City Council. Will everyone please rise and salute the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Roll call of the members. Councillor Rigo?
Here.
Here. Councillor Gino? Here. Here. Councillor Guanasso is absent. Councillor Haas? Here. Councillor McKenna? Here. Councillor Morabito?
Here.
Here. Councillor Novoselsky?
Here.
Here. Councillor Patch?
Here.
Here. Councillor Reardon?
Here.
Here. Councillor Zambuto?
Here.
Here. And Council President Powers?
Here.
Here. A quorum is present. Approval of the journal of the meeting held on June 1st, 2015.
Motion to approve.
So move.
Calendar item number 1, City Councillor George V. Colella Academic Awards will be awarded to the top performing 5th and 8th graders in the city of Revere.
Hi, Carol.
Thank you, John. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the council. On behalf of the Colella family and the Colella committee, we would like to congratulate each and every one of our award winners this evening. I think as everyone in this room knows that George Colella, no matter what office he held, education was his primary goal. No matter what the agenda might be, no matter how many times I spoke on George's behalf at committee meetings or functions, education always was #1 on the list. And if he reminded me once, he beat it into my head 3 or 4 times. And the girls are laughing in the back. And at this time, I would like to introduce George's daughters that are here this evening. Joan, Jennifer, and Liz, thank you once again for joining us. I have with me tonight, on behalf of the committee, the Superintendent Emeritus, school committee woman, and the greatest teacher this guy ever had, believe me. And I would like to ask Carol to say a few words. Carol Ty.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you. Well, for the youngsters who might not know who George Colella was, his picture is right up here over another teacher, right over Miss McKenna. And he was always interested in education. I think he was a teacher at heart. When he was mayor and I was teachers union officer, sometimes we would have disagreements. And he never let me get away with the easy answer. He always pushed me as hard as he could to make me really defend my position. And I think, children, you probably appreciate that too. And teachers certainly do. That, you know, what teachers do we all remember? The ones from whom we learned the most, the ones who pushed us to make our good better and our better best. So we are giving these awards tonight in memory of George Colella, who served in this city, perhaps because he was born on Flag Day. I think he had such a sense of necessary service. And so he served this city in the school committee, on the city council, and as mayor. Actually, for more than 50 years, and over a period of 6 decades, longer than any other person in the history of the city of Revere. While he was mayor, there were 4 new schools built, and at that time, before he left office, he had already arranged for the planning, the architectural planning, and the financing for a new Revere High School. And that's the one, we call it euphemistically new, that's the one that many of you have graduated from. George gives a $2,000 scholarship to a Revere High School student of excellence every year. He provided for that in his will. And I think it would be a lovely irony if someday one of you, when you go to Revere High School, wins that scholarship. I think that we would all be especially pleased about that. You've been introduced to George's daughters. George was the president of the Revere High School class of 1945. His wife, who was then known as June Murphy, went to school with him. She was cited with having the best personality. He was cited as being the most likely to succeed. The class of 45 has a proud history in all of them. And I think because he had that proud history and he was so happy with what the Revere Public Schools had achieved during his tenure there, wanted to help to serve that in the future. And so not just the high school scholarship, but he wanted to say to youngsters like you, when you are finishing elementary school, finishing middle school, that this is just to show how much we in the city, we in the school department appreciate you. And the fact that the city fathers and mothers here, the city councilors, said, no, this is too important. We're not going to give these out just in the school department. We represent the entire city. And so the entire city honors you tonight. Thank you to the families who came here with these children. Thank you to all of you out there who are watching. And I hope you are as impressed as I am. I'd like to call upon the principals to come forward, and we'll do it in alphabetical order by school with the elementary school. So, Dr. Percy Napier, if you could come forward. Come around here, please. Let me just tell a little story. We do not have the winner, Amanda Costa, with us tonight. She is, as we speak, on a plane coming from Italy, where she served in a wedding party as a flower girl for one of her relatives. So Dr. Napier has said that he will accept on her behalf. And when will we give her her award?
At the moving on ceremony in a couple weeks.
That's wonderful then. So I'm sure she'll be happy to watch this. So Amanda and your family, when you watch this, then we say congratulations to you, and we'd like to have Dr. Napier say a few words about you.
So it is with great pleasure and tremendous excitement that I present Amanda Costa as the Beachmont Colella Award winner. As Dr. Tai said, unfortunately Amanda cannot be here due to the fact that she is, as we speak, on a plane heading back to Revere from a wedding in Italy. If I were to describe Amanda, I would describe her as a scholar. At the Beachmont, and our school does place a lot of emphasis on developing scholarly behavior, which consists of high levels of engagement, academic resilience, and self-initiation. These are the characteristics that describe Amanda to the letter. Not only is she a great student, she makes straight A's, she made a perfect score on the math MCAS, and she will be on the pre-AP track next year. She's also fluent in Albanian, and in anticipation of this wedding from which she is heading right now, she also initiated a study of Italian. She loves math and science and explores chemistry at home by experimenting with different mixtures and solutions. But beyond that, Amanda is like any other kid. She's gushing over Fallout Boys and One Direction. She is also engaged in an intense effort to teach her pet parakeets to talk. Her teachers describe Amanda as the student that every teacher dreams of. She's hardworking, perseverant, conscientious, and thoughtful. Even when she has mastered something, she goes above and beyond to challenge herself. But the best thing about Amanda is that she is still a kid. Amanda knows how to have a good time and be silly with friends. She has her own sense of style and is completely happy in her own skin. So as everything that I mentioned indicates, Amanda Costa is an awesome student, as well as a great young lady destined for an outstanding future. And it is with great pleasure to recognize her with this prestigious award.
Well, congratulations, Amanda. Thank you. Next, could we have Mrs. DiGregorio to come from the Garfield School? And by the way, there is a check attached here for $200 to each child. And let me just read to you what it says. In recognition of extraordinary and exemplary scholastic achievement in the attainment of the highest academic ranking in the 2014-2015 school year in the 5th grade of whatever school it is. Thank you.
Get the parents up here and my teachers with us too. Gabe, stand right here with me. Parents, come right behind us. I'm so proud to have you. Thank you so much. I am so proud to present the George Colella Award to our Garfield student, Gabriel Hassenai. He has been an outstanding student his entire career at the Garfield School. I want to introduce his two wonderful teachers who also nominated him for this position, Mr. Walpole and Mr. Vito. The day that Mr. Vito brought him into my office so that I could tell him about the award, his panicked face was staring at me. Why am I in the principal's office? But as soon as I told him what the award was about, I bet you can tell that smile that hasn't stopped since. We also called Dad, is Dad over here, from my phone, let him call him to tell him. So I think Dad was initially a little nervous getting that call, but as soon as he heard what it was about, the pride that they have in their child came through, and rightly so. Gabe is a model student in every way. He perseveres in his academics, and he's highly motivated by his competitive spirit. He has achieved great success at Garfield. Each teacher who had him has been truly impressed with his focus and dedication. When you read his cumulative folder and you see the remarks the teachers say about students, it's just a joy to read his. He demonstrates the best of all the qualities that we expect from our Garfield Elementary students. Some of his many impressive academic accomplishments at Garfield were perfect score on the grade 3 MCAS, 3 perfect scores on his A-Net math and ELA exams this year, a Lexile score of 1155 on Achieve 3000, which equates to an 8th grade level, and principal's list, all A's for the 5th grade. Gabe's favorite subject in school is definitely math, but he tremendously enjoyed our Science from Scientists program this year also. He loves watching science shows at home, especially those about space. Gabe is not only an excellent student, though, he's also very athletic and loves to compete with his friends in soccer and football. But as much as the time he enjoys with his friends, he is also very family-oriented. And this summer, he looks forward to traveling to Albania to visit family, and then hopes to travel around the world in the future. When he grows up, Gabe wants to work for NASA. And with his determination and work ethic, there's no doubt he can accomplish that. He will be moving on to Garfield Middle School for the next phase of his career. Congratulations, Gabe.
Thank you.
Come up front with him first for the picture. Get here, I can get in the back.
Babe, here it is. We have to get you, they spelled your name wrong.
Very nice.
So we have to get that fixed.
Yes, you know.
Squishing.
Switch.
Squish, squish.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
So much.
Thank you.
Here we go. That one.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks again.
From the Lincoln School, could we have Principal Jody Ganotti?
Great to see you. How are you? Are you the winner? Great job. Great job. Hi, how are you? Congratulations. Very much. Hi, how you doing? Good to see you. How much you want to nominate us?
Ready?
Stand right up front and center. The George Colella Award for the Lincoln School goes to Camilo Cortez Lopera, and I am happy to present it tonight with one of his teachers, Stephanie West. Camilo is a bright and dedicated young man and a distinguished student at the Lincoln School. He's been on honor roll or principal's list every term since starting at the Lincoln School. Camilo excels in all subjects, although his favorite is math. While Camilo is certainly a talented student academically, he's an even greater person. Camilo is kind, compassionate, and generous. He goes above and beyond what we can expect of a fifth grader and has a positive influence on all of those around him. Camilo is a leader on the fifth grade student council and a role model in the school. Camilo recently represented the Lincoln School at the regional spelling bee in Lynn and placed 4th overall. Outside of school, Camilo loves to play soccer and is a talented artist. Camilo will attend the Susan B. Anthony Middle School in the fall, where we know he will continue to inspire all those he encounters. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Nice job, everybody. Thank you. Must be very proud of you. Yeah. Oh, congratulations. Thank you. Great job. Sure, if you want me to. It's entirely up to you. This is your show. I'm just using your kids.
Could we have Mr. Mosher, please, from the McKinley School?
It's so amazing. These kids and these teachers are doing incredible. I'll forget it. If I had to take the MCAS, I'd still be sitting in there on a little chair. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Forget it. Forget it. Congratulations. Good job. Mr. Moshe, how are you? Doing great. Good to see you.
We got a lot of people here.
Get some issues over at the new school we're working on.
I know. We'll talk about it.
Congratulations.
We can physically organize.
We'll keep going. You slide right in behind him.
Good evening. Jared Mercado has been at the McKinley School since kindergarten. Principals list for grades 3, 4, and 5. At the McKinley, we've park tested the last 2 years, so all we have is grade 3 MCAS data, perfect score ELA, advanced score in math. ANET, which is a very rigorous test, which are quarterly tests. Since 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, there's been 11 assessments, half in ELA, half in math. His average score is a 95, which is incredible. His favorite subject, perfect score was in ELA. His favorite subject is math, right, Jared? Favorite hobby, playing basketball, or following and supporting his favorite team, the Boston Celtics. In his conversation with me, he's confident yet won't guarantee the Celtics will win their 18th World Championship within, what do we say, Jared? 5 years. 5 years. Take that to the bank. His favorite NBA player, Kevin Durant. I asked him why. And fittingly, he said he's humble, he's quiet, and he's a team player. Sounds pretty familiar. If you know Jared, that describes him to a T. His ambition is to be an NBA player. If for some reason that does not work out, it will be not for lack of effort on Jared's part. He wants to either become a psychologist or a psychiatrist because he's interested in how the brain works. Formula for success, he said, try your best and never give up. As his teachers standing here and administrators and parents know Jared, all the time, he just demonstrates his utmost, absolute best effort and never gives up in a very quiet way. He'll be attending Rumney Marsh in August. But Jared Mercado is not only an outstanding student, he's also a wonderful, respectful, and humble young man. It's my honor, and with pleasure, to give him the George V. Colella Academic Award for being the top grade 5 student in the McKinley School. Congratulations to Jared and his family. I'm getting that. Yep. Good job. Congratulations.
Must be very proud.
Congratulations. Oh, yeah. That's wonderful. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Wonderful. Met your brother?
Yep.
You must be proud of him too, right? Doing a good job. I'm going to watch the NBA now. 2 things. See if he makes it and see if the Celtics win in 5 years.
A nice supportive family. It's wonderful. And now from the Paul Revere School, Miss Barbara Kelly.
Good to see you. Nice to see you. Thank you.
I know, it's got to be hard.
It is. Come on up, everyone.
Congratulations. Great to see you.
Where's the grandma and grandpa? Get them up. Mrs. Quirk up here? Again, like everybody else here tonight, I'm very proud to present Victor Pelletieri for the George Colella Award. Victor, along with everyone else, has been on principal's list, honor roll, Lexile level in the 1300s. He got a score today. What was the final score?
1,445.
Articles that he's read, imagine. But I want to tell you a little bit about Victor's day, because I thought I had a busy day. Victor gets up very early and he comes to school, Paul Revere School, by 7:45 in the morning. He runs a little soccer clinic outside for me in the schoolyard every morning, supervising the kids while we're doing the traffic. He comes in by 8:05 and he mentors 4 students and does fluency buddies. Most students only mentor 2. Victor mentors 4 every morning for us and helps the children learn how to read and monitors their reading. He goes through his regular day. He comes down at lunch. I have never seen Victor take a bite of food, but I know he eats his lunch, and he sits, I have to tell you, and I'm in that cafeteria every day, he sits and reads a book between 500 to 1,000 pages a day in the cafeteria. It's incredible. He finishes 2 books a week on his own time, and then plus his school reading. He goes home and he says, I have to have a little fun, right, Mrs. Kelly? Plays with his brother Anthony, and he does some video games and relaxes, has supper at 5, and he spends some time with his family. He leaves for the Garfield School where he swims from 6 to 8:30 at night every night. Comes home from that, does a little bit more homework, and then gets a little snack and goes to bed. Saturdays and Sundays, he rides his bike or runs from the circle at one end of Revere Beach all the way to the circle at the other end of Revere Beach to get in shape for the Revere 5K race. Victor is training to swim. He made the Mass Bay swimming, and then he will swim in Harvard for that in June and represent Massachusetts. He goes in August to Virginia, and he represents our state in the Virginia International Swim Meet in Virginia. So all Victor swimming, the many things that he does, it is just incredible that this boy puts in that kind of a day. And his family is his #1 love. His grandmother and grandfather, when I told him he won this, he got excited because they're visiting from Brazil and leave next week and got to be here. So they're so excited to have Grandma and Grandpa here. It is with an honor that I present Victor. The things that he does on a daily basis outnumbers me, and I am so proud of you, Victor. All his academics are principal list, like I said. His average score for A-Net in math is 96, and English has been 84, and that's consistent all the way through. So, Victor, we're very proud of you. Keep up that reading. Victor wants to be a lawyer and go to Harvard or Boston College, where he loves debates, and I told him this would be a great place for him, right? I told him he was coming to that great hall, right? You're welcome, Victor. Congratulations. Oh, and she didn't come up, but his teacher is standing at the door, Mrs. Bonfiglio, his 5th grade teacher, and Mrs. Quirk, our assistant principal. I wanted to thank them without their knowledge. Congratulations, Victor. Want to come up and get in the picture? Come on up with Victor. Come on up. She's hobbling. We'll push you in for Mrs. Right? Want to have her there. Nana, you want to get in this picture too? Come on, get in this picture, Nana. Can you get up, Stacy? There you go. We're ready. Thank you. Do we go off this side or that side?
Congratulations.
Isn't he? Good job, huh?
What a resume you have already. I wouldn't want to compare mine with yours.
Quite a day, huh?
Keep up the good work.
Thank you, thank you.
Congratulations. You're going to be so proud. What a good kid.
Thank you.
From the Wayland School, please, Mrs. Flynn. Jamie Flynn. And Naomi DeMaro's family.
Yeah.
I first met you, I was a doctor, and my girl told me your family. I had 2 kids at the time. They come every week to collect 41 cents or something.
You're right up at the front, my dear.
Congratulations. Good job.
We have a nice podium.
I think we might want to keep coming. Should we move down?
Sure.
I'm going to get the back.
No, what do we do? That's like,
When the fifth grade team made their recommendation for the George V. Colella Award, it did not come to a surprise that Naomi DiAmaro would be the one selected for this prestigious award. Naomi is an excellent student who is dedicated to her studies. Last year, she received over a 272 on both her ELA and her math MCAS tests. This year, she earned over a 90 on all of her math ANET tests, and she's been on either honor roll or principal's list for every trimester at the Wayland School. Not to mention that she's earned Respect Corps status for her entire school career. Naomi takes learning seriously. She works hard to apply what she already knows to new concepts and materials that she encounters. She takes time to really think about what she is learning and asks questions when she needs clarifications on more information. Naomi consistently perseveres in problem solving and enjoys a good challenge. Her teachers, who are here tonight, Ms. DeLegro, Ms. Nickerson, and Ms. Mason, commented that her enthusiasm for school is simply contagious. Her positive attitude has helped build her knowledge and investigate new ideas and strategies. Naomi is always eager to get involved in every learning activity, expressing her curiosity and her interests. Her actions make her a leader and a role model for others to emulate. Ms. Lassess, one of her fourth grade teachers, added, Naomi has individual ideas and ways of thinking. In reading, she has an intuitive ability to empathize with any character. This is an extraordinary gift. As well as exceeding in academics, Naomi is a well-rounded individual. She's a very talented artist, and she even co-authored a picture book entitled Potatoes in Action. This is a compilation of hilarious sketches of what else? Potatoes. Sketches include monuments such as Old Potato in the Mountain and the Empire Potato Building, as well as potato jobs such as Chef Potato, Cop Potato, and Mr. Potato, the math teacher. Her work with this book resulted in Miss Wick entering it into the Revere Public Schools art show this spring. When asked what subject she likes most, she quickly responds, art. She will eagerly share that she loves to draw anime, she loves to play outdoors, watch TV, and even relax. Her favorite book is Fluffy Fluffy Cinnamon Roll by Yumi Tsukurino, and she loves to go places where she can play, such as the beach and the park. Not only is she creative and intelligent, she's also a great kid. Naomi begins every day with a smile and a positive attitude and ends every day with have a great afternoon. She's a kind and compassionate student who's always there to help others. It is an honor to be able to recognize Naomi DiAmaro with the George Colella Award for Academic Achievement. Fluffy cinnamon roll.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor.
Oh, no, you kidding me? It's one of the best nights of the year so far.
And now the three middle schools. Could we have from the Garfield Middle School, please? Ms. Macaba Bernardo, who will not be here next year. She has recently been elected to be the new Assistant Superintendent of the Revere Public Schools. We're very proud of her.
Thank you. I'm joined tonight by Mr. Max Matera, and I'm thrilled to introduce Isabella Antonuccio Amato, Garfield Middle School's Colella Award winner. Isabella is a wonderful young woman who joined us from Garfield Elementary School. She's here tonight with her mom. During the course of her 3 years at Garfield, Isabella excelled academically. She scored advanced on both the ELA and Math MCAS in both the 6th and 7th grade. Isabella can best be described as well-spoken, kind, incredibly hardworking, good-natured, and creative. She has strong opinions, but voices them respectfully. She engages in collegial discussions and debates that promote the learning for both sides. She is one student who all of her peers enjoy working with. She puts 100% effort into all that she does. She has been described by a veteran teacher as one of the finest to come through GMS in years. Isabella is planning to attend Revere High School and looks forward to exploring opportunities to be creative. We are so proud of Isabella and her accomplishments at GMS and look forward to the many to come. Congratulations, Isabella.
Congratulations, good job.
Thank you.
From Rumney Marsh Academy, Principal Richard Gallucci.
See you again, sir.
I'm going to lean over so you can hear me in the microphone. On behalf of Dr. Rockwood, our assistant principal, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Julia Tran as the Rumney Marsh Academy Colella Award winner. It is difficult to capture Julia's dedication to academics, but there may have never been a more accurate moment than during her Aspirers speech when she compared herself to a math equation. Someone who gets a perfect score since 4th grade on the math exam would do that. She said, a strong sense of morality plus dedication plus hard work minus procrastination equals me as a student. Julia's work over her 3 years at the Rumney Marsh Academy has been remarkable, and it is an honor to present her with this award tonight. Beyond academics, Julia is known as one of the most magnanimous students in our building. She has an amazing sense of humor that underlies her quiet demeanor, and she can light up in a room in just a few short minutes with a few quick words. During her acceptance speech, she thanked her teachers, the administrators, the lunch ladies, the custodians, the pencil returners, and the door openers. She went on to thank everybody that gives her a daily good morning because, as she so eloquently put it, I like the continuity. So today, Julia, we are here to return the favor and thank you for being you and for all that you bring to our building on a daily basis. As a former ELA teacher, Julia and I share one passion, our love for puns. So I'm going to end this speech with a pun from Oscar Wilde. He said, "Some bring happiness wherever they go, others whenever they go." And Julia, you certainly fit the former and not the latter. We wish you the very best at Revere High School, and congratulations on this amazing award. Thank you.
And from the Susan B. Anthony, Principal Joanne Willett.
I'd like to acknowledge Assistant Principal Adam Delaney and Brittany's 7th grade math teacher, Mr. DeFranzo, who are here with us tonight. When asked to describe Brittany Sow, the staff at SBA immediately responded, and I mean every single teacher who has ever come in contact with Brittany. The words they used were genuine, friendly, positive, amazing. I could go on, but I'm sure some of you would like to get home this evening. The word used most was determined, and her teachers had plenty of evidence to support this. This year, weeks after PARCC, MCAS, and ANET testing, Brittany asked her math teacher to show them high school math content to help them prepare for next year. She fought extreme shyness and stage fright and danced in front of the entire SBA community at our shows. She's consistently working at things until she's confident she truly understands them. Brittany brightens any room she's in. Her teachers say she has the most pleasing personality of any student they have ever taught. She's smiley, she's a true gem. Her friends appreciate her kindness, her support, and her creativity. She's hardworking, level-headed, and a self-motivated person who makes those around her better. In her time at SBA, she has become a quiet leader, and having seen the greatness that lies within her, I am excited to see the greatness that lies before her. It is with my pleasure to present Brittany Sow with the George V. Colella Academic Achievement Award. Congratulations.
Could we have just the students, the winners, come forward for a picture for the newspaper, please? Yes, why don't you bring your certificate? You can hold it up. Open it up. Put it back. We don't want to lose that. Hold your certificates like right up in front of you. All the kids in the front row. Okay? Okay, one in the front. One in the front.
At this time, I would like to call on someone who has carried on the proud traditions of George Colella in ensuring that education is #1 in this city. It's a top priority at all times. Our Mayor, Dan Rizzo.
Dan, thank you very much, and thanks to you, Dan Ferrara, and Carol Ty, for continuing this great tradition. And I want to thank the Colella family for you all being here and in helping us honor your father's memory and what it means to all these kids each and every year. It's really remarkable, and it becomes more and more remarkable every year that I come here and hear these stories from their teachers and principals about how much success they are having here in the Revere school systems. It's no wonder why last year in 2014, the National School for Urban School Transformation recognized Revere High School as the #1 high school in the entire country. That is because what's happening in our elementary schools and in our middle schools. And you don't have to look very far than tonight to see the type of work that's going on in our school system. And as mayor of this city, I couldn't be more proud. You parents and grandparents that are here, you have got to be so tremendously proud of the work that these kids have done. And obviously, they are off to very, very bright futures, which as elected officials, myself as mayor and city councilor sitting here, there is no bigger priority than giving our kids a great path to success. And I can see that we're doing that here. So I'm proud of all the work being done in our school systems. And to the kids, keep on doing what you're doing. You're doing a great job. You should all be proud of yourselves. Thank you very much.
And once again, to all the awardees, on behalf of Joan, Jennifer, and Liz, we congratulate you, and we cannot wait to see what the future brings for you, because we know it's going to be fantastic. Have a great summer. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. President. Nice job, Dan.
Do we have, is there a presentation before that? Yeah, why don't we do, we will now recess for 5 minutes. Mr. Mayor, I believe you have a certificate to award. Yeah.
Calendar item number 2, Ms. Kitty Bowman from MGH will be presented a certificate of commendation in recognition of her retirement as Director of Revere Cares.
Do you have the certificate? Okay. Did you want to say anything?
No.
Okay. Well, Kitty, come on up. Well, Mr. President, members of the City Council, this is really a bittersweet moment for me. On one hand, I want to congratulate and wish Kitty Bowman all the very, very best as she retires after many, many years here in the city of Revere. But on the other hand, it is with a great deal of sadness, and in particular, having had the opportunity to work with her as closely as I did over the last close to 4 years now as mayor, and see the work that she has been able to do with respect to public health here in our community. We spend a lot of time here in Revere. I don't know if anybody really knows this or understands this, but Revere, more so than a lot of other communities, puts a lot of focus on public health, whether it has to do with addiction, whether it has to do with childhood obesity, whether it has to do with alcohol use and consumption, smoking. There are a lot of issues that we try to focus on as a community to make us a more healthy and vibrant community. And none of the efforts that we make, in my opinion, would be possible had it not been for the many, many years of service from this lady behind me, Kitty Bowman. She has meant an incredible amount to this city. She has really blazed a path for her colleagues that are sitting here right now, I think, who can, I'm pretty confident, can pick up the torch, but I dare say probably not replace Kitty Bowman. She has just been such a stalwart when it comes to taking on a project, whether it be our initial community health assessments, or going forward to provide an incredible amount of outreach into the community regarding all of those public health issues that I talked about. She has been really the leader, and in as much as I have the utmost respect for our own health department, Nick Catanazzo does a great job and Carol Donovan does a great job, but it is all really in using Kitty as the catalyst for the work that they do. And so, Kitty, I just want to say it has been a tremendous opportunity for me as mayor of the city to work with you. I don't think that people who haven't had the opportunity to work as closely with Kitty as I know I have now over the last 4 years, and I see Carol Ty there and her MGH colleagues and some City Hall staff that's here to recognize this momentous occasion of her retirement. But unless you've had the chance to work as closely as we all have, it's hard for you to understand what she has meant to the city of Revere. And so she will be sorely missed, certainly not forgotten. And on behalf of the entire city, Kitty, I just want to wish you all the best and thank you so much for the work that you have done here in the city of Revere.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. John, would you like to say a few words? Mr. President?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I first came in contact with Kitty Bowman 16 years ago when I was first elected to the City Council and started to participate in the Revere Cares programs. Kitty's been here for 18 years, and I couldn't begin to imagine the countless young people that Kitty Bowman has mentored in her position at the MGH and Revere Cares. She deserves a tremendous amount of gratitude from the citizens of this city, from many parents and many children that participated in the Revere Cares programs. Congratulations, Kitty, and thank you for being here for us.
So, Kitty, I would like to read this very, very small token of our appreciation, but on a city with the budget the size that we have in Revere here. This is the best that we can do right now, but believe me, it is from the bottom of our hearts. It is a certificate of commendation in acknowledgement of your retirement as Director of Revere Cares at Massachusetts General Hospital, wherein during your tenure, you strengthened the health of Revere by preventing substance abuse, promoting healthy eating, active living, and healthy relationships through culturally competent strategies, programs, and services. Special recognition is hereby accorded to Rosina T. Kitty Bowman, Mass General Hospital, Revere Cares Director. The certificate of commendation is presented by the Mayor and the City Council of the City of Revere, Massachusetts, on behalf of its citizens this 8th day of June in the year of our Lord 2015, and of the independence of the United States of America, the 238th. It's signed by our City Council President, John Powers, our City Clerk, Ashley Melnick, and myself as Mayor of the City, Dan Rizzo. Congratulations. Absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you for this recognition, but there's something I want to say, and that is I had a role, a job to do, and I kind of liken it to being the Italian mother who knows how to stir the sauce or the gravy, depending on what part of Italy you come from. You did the work. This community, the council, the mayor, the health department, the schools, together, the residents, our youth, have done an impressive amount of work. And I've been very humbled by all of you. I've seen the dedication, the leadership, the courage, the passion, the caring for this community. This is a rare community. I think sometimes you don't see it yourselves because it's part of who you are. But because I did not grow up in this community, the level of caring and commitment is so strong. And when I came to this community, I recognized it immediately. And that is the key to your success, as it is the key to your future. Now, being myself, I can't just say thank you. I've also got to say to you something, a plea, because you know I never walk away from a conversation without asking for something. And I'm going to stay with that tradition. I am extremely worried about the opiate overdose situation in Revere. We have put a lot, 10 years, 2004 is when we began working on this issue. And while we have a lot less fatalities in terms of, because of the Narcan, the number of overdoses are going up. And I am convinced it's because we haven't stopped the pipeline. Yes, we're doing a lot to prevent overdoses, but we will not stop this tragedy until we stop the pipeline. So we have to find a way not only to prevent the opiate overdoses, but to prevent folks from being addicted to opiates in the first place. 90% of our work has been prevention of opiate overdoses. 10% has been about reducing opiate addiction. We've got to bring that up. It has to be 50-50. Or 5 years or 10 years from now, you're going to be looking at a continuation in the rising number of opiate overdoses. So as I leave, if there's one thing you can do, that is it. And I thank you all for a wonderful year, for sharing and making me part of your community and part of your family. I am a very fortunate woman. I've had a job that I love to do and go to every day. Thank you.
Calendar item number 3, joint meeting of the utility companies to discuss double polls.
Gentlemen.
Stan Yusevich, Verizon, with offices at 63 High Street in Danvers.
Thank you.
Dan Cameron with National Grid with offices at 170 Medford Street in Malden.
Thank you, Dan. Councillors. Councillor Reardon.
Gentlemen, I see we have a new report. I believe this must be the much-anticipated new way of tracking our polls. And I must say, from what I understand about it, and I'm going to ask you in a second to explain it, but one thing it does have on there, was something I've been asking for a long time, is the set date. So that's an immense amount of progress as far as I'm concerned. Perhaps you could explain the rest of the stuff on this report so that we have a little understanding of what's going on.
Sure. I'll just give you and it's new to us as well.
Yeah.
I will tell you, I did insert a key on the front page that gives you the initials for the electric company, the fire department, private fiber, cable TV, and then, of course, Verizon. We did do a survey, as I had mentioned at the last meeting. That survey was completed, and the results, I'm told, are in this report. I will tell you that I will transmit the report electronically to you in the future. It's something that we're still learning and still trying to navigate. So I know that the councilor did have a concern with set dates, and that's part of the report and will continue to be so.
Well, I'm just, for instance, if you could take a look, maybe you don't have the answer to this yet, maybe this yet, it's new to you, but what's a ticket number, for instance, the first item on the column?
The ticket number just refers to the job of placing the pole. It might be irrelevant to your purposes, and if I could ever learn enough to take it out of the report, I will.
No, that's all right. You can leave we're suffering from too little, not too much.
Okay.
The street name is obvious. The set date, again, is something that we've been looking to do. Pole condition. I see that there's really two conditions the poles could be in, except for one, there's another in there, but most of them are either butt in or pole top. What exactly does butt in mean?
Butt in means that the pole is still in the ground. Ordinarily, what happens is that when a double pole or when an old pole is replaced and brought together, they'll pull the old pole out, cut it, kick it over, put the new pole in the existing hollow, and then attach the old pole to the new one. So it's a cut and kick.
I get it.
In some cases, that's not possible, and in which case they'll both stay in the ground. They'll be side by side, but
I get it.
planted.
Now, what does pole top mean?
Pole top means exactly that. It's been cut, and it's attached to the pole, and it's just as they come down the pole, as they move off, for instance, they'll take a chunk off, and so the next person can throw their cable over the old pole.
So that essentially we know that we are suffering from a double pole one way or the other, regardless of the condition
Correct.
or the pole condition as described.
This is strictly a double pole report.
Okay, great. And so we have the telco, that's the telephone company pole number, I assume, for
Correct.
the ones held by Verizon, one owned by Verizon, correct?
That's correct.
And the Elecco pole is one, is the NatGrid pole, correct? Or a separate number for the same pole?
Exactly.
All right. So last we come over, step MBR. Now, I notice on the first thing you gave us, you gave the designations of the step members, National Grid, Mass, Revere Fire Department, NPMA, which is other, I'm not sure what that is.
That's private fiber. In the case here, it would be, for the most part, the Department of Education or the school department.
Oh, okay, all right. And then Comcast, obviously, and Verizon, correct?
Right.
Okay. So what significance are the various members? What does that give us any priority as to where the pole might be?
Yeah, exactly. In the past, you would have a balling court.
Yes.
This is the balling court without
the ball. Okay, yeah.
Without the graph of seeing it move from left to right.
All right. Speaking of which, then, the order in which the utility is removed from the old pole and placed on the new pole, is that represented by the step member chart that you gave us on the first page?
That's correct.
So in other words, National Grid goes first.
That's right.
And that means everybody else has to follow.
Correct.
All right, and Verizon can't get to it until after all the other guys have done their job, is that right?
It's easy to remember. Electricity is first on, first off. Verizon is last on, last off.
Okay, and everybody else is in between, obviously.
Correct.
All right, well, that's very, very, very helpful. However, after having said that the report is good, I have to note a couple of situations that it does bring to light. I would suggest to our new city council that she is the champion right now as to the oldest pole in the system on Unity Avenue by about 40 days between the one on Fernwood Avenue, which I've been complaining about for some time. The Unity Ave pole was put in 2007, and it's still there, apparently, from what I can see. And you guys, National Grid, are responsible, according to my chart, which, by the way, not so much that I'm complaining because it's Councilor McKenna's ward. I'll complain about Fernwood in a minute, but it's a great relief to know that we now know that there's these poles in there that have been here as long as possible, and perhaps we can urge you a little more stridently to remove some of the older ones. And I do understand that you like to do the same street at the same time, and that makes immense sense. But, for instance, I'll go back to the one I'm concerned about, which is pole number 900, which appears to be Comcast. Appears to be the so National Grid and Verizon are off the hook at this point. We're waiting for Comcast to do something with that pole. But it's been next to the Walgreens since 2007. That seems to me an inordinate amount of time to get that pole out of the ground. I mean, it could have been overlooked, I suppose.
No, I will tell you, Councillor, I went, before I came here, I stopped at that specific site and viewed the pole. There is a riser, in other words, a conduit that comes out of the ground and up the side of the pole. And that is the difficulty in moving that. The conduit work has to be transferred onto the new pole, and there's a little bit of a separation there.
What's what's inside the conduit?
It would be Comcast, cable, essentially.
Coming from the ground?
Coming up from the ground.
Ah, wow, that's interesting. In any case, like I said, this is, I think, a great improvement over the last report, but there are a considerable number of poles that have been in since 2011, 2012, several from 2008, a few from 2010. And despite the fact that, I certainly understand that you like to attack the same poles in the same area at the same time, I don't think anybody up here or even you guys would agree that 5 years of a double pole being in the ground makes a lot of sense. It's certainly not what we were looking to not have happen when we put this system into effect. So I guess that's my only but I know that you guys will now, now that you have the tools to do it, will address these issues, I'm sure, on a more timely basis. I think the next thing we would like to have somebody do is at least give us what's a reasonable time to have these things all completed. And I understand that, there's 5 players sometimes on these poles, and it's not easy to determine exactly when the next guy up is going to be able to get in there. But I mean, there's got to be some way to figure out whether it's 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, or something like that, that we could say, give us that, you could say, give us that much time to get it done. And then if it lingered beyond that, we'd then be able to say to you, hey, you said 6 months, and now it's been 8 or 10. So I think that would be the next goal of this system.
Well, I can tell you operationally, Councillor, what we're trying to do now is train as many people as we possibly can. The people that are trained first are those that are the practitioners, those in the field. Unfortunately, the training that I received is not as deep as they have gone, but we also are opening this up at no cost to the municipalities, and we're trying to reach out and make sure that they're trained properly so that when they make the transfer, that the database is not skewed because they haven't entered the data.
For instance, the Revere Fire Department or the school system.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's good. That's an excellent step as well. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Councillor Reardon. Any other councillors? Councillor Patch.
Thank you, Mr. President. Gentlemen, I have a double pole on Clifton Street up in North Revere. looks like it's in Comcast's court right now, but the problem is a wire is attached to the only wire is the Comcast wire, but it's attached to the back of the pole. I guess there's a bracket there, so it has to be unattached and then reattached above the pole or above the bracket or something, so they can cut get the pole, the old pole out of there. So I don't know if I'll leave it. I'll write an email for Tim Kelly to have him take care of that, and but that really has caused a big problem up there because it's in a kind of dangerous place right near the corner of Salem Street and Cliftondale. Also, I noticed here on Sergeant Street, I got one of those famous poles too, like from 2007, and that's in Verizon's court there, pole number 4482. That means it's ready to come out, right?
Yeah, I would imagine that it would be. If it's not ball in court, then it's
says-
a transfer that we'd either have to make and then take the pole.
Yeah, I think they've suffered enough. 2007. That is, yeah, it is the oldest one, yeah. I also got like 3 on Malden Street. Now, I don't know if I don't know if it's mine or Ward 3. And there were a couple there from 2008, and one of them's National Grid, and the other is the fire. And the third one, I believe, is, that's also fire. I mean, there's no reason, like Councillor Reardon has said. I mean, it's good. It'd be good if we could go back and get the old ones. Start maybe working that way, getting the old ones out first, and push it along a little faster.
Well, to tell you the truth, Councillor, if we have a number that are ready to go, it makes sense to get rid of them and concentrate on the older ones as we move forward.
Right. All right, well,
I mean, I'd hate to go back, my point being, if I go back and say they'd like to do them by age, then those that are in the queue ready to go, they'll misinterpret as,
all right.
We can wait.
That was only a suggestion. I mean,
Okay.
you got all the power, not me.
Just suggesting that operationally, we should clean up what we have in our queue, and then if the priority by the council is to go by age, we can certainly coordinate that with our.
But I definitely want, as soon as I email Tim, he's pretty good.
Right.
I'm sure he'll take care of that problem with Comcast. Then it'll be in your court, right?
That's right.
So I hope you keep. When I email him, I'll have him tell him that when he's done.
Just CC me on the email.
CC you. I will. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Patch. Councillor Zambudo.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'll be very brief. I want to compliment you gentlemen on this new format, although it has exposed some serious antique poles out there. It's very helpful, and I think it continues our cooperative effort to take down these double poles. So I'm very pleased with this, but I would like to see some of these 2003 and 2007 poles disappear. So, again, it's a much better format, it's much more helpful, and I'm sure this also means that the methods are now better for getting these things taken care of. So I thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Zambudo, for your display of brevity. It's appreciated. I just have briefly 3 poles on Library Street. They're the only 3 on Library Street. I'd like to get those addressed as quickly as possible. And I have pole 2601 on Woodland Road. There's bird's nest in the pole. And the way it is now, unless that's cleaned out, it's serving no purpose down there on Woodland Road for, public safety.
There's a bird nest where?
In the globe,
Oh, in the globe, the street light.
On the street light?
yeah, so,
Yeah, that's always a delicate situation.
well, people have called me several times, and I'll go over, I have some others in the area I want to go over, and I'll be in touch with you regarding those, but that one on Woodland Road and the three on Library Street I've received a lot of calls on. I'd like to get them addressed as quickly as possible. Any other councilors? Yeah. Councillor Hess.
To you, 3674, 3676 on Fenley Street. That was a double pole. It still is. And I had a problem when they put the second pole in there, Stan.
And they're still side by side, correct?
Correct, right. And I think they had a problem with the second pole when they said it.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, in other words, it's set incorrectly? Or-
No, they had a problem with it kept on going in. There was some minor problems there, okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Hess.
Mr. President, just one for me, please.
Councillor Novoselsky.
Just one item, the oldest one in my neighborhood is on James Street, pole 727, it's a National Grid. They haven't even moved the street light or anything like that, so appreciate it. John, I got one more question. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Novoselsky. Councillor Patch.
Yeah, sorry, just one more quick question. We got like 9 poles on Washington Ave here, double poles, and one of them, we went back on the list. One of them's been like 2003, so, in 2005. Now that would be, there's like 4, I think, Verizon that could come out of that group, if you want to go work in groups.
I'm seeing one that is ready on Washington
One-
Avenue for Verizon. The one that's 2005 is Revere.
3 National Grid.
3 National Grid, yeah.
One Revere, 2 Revere, 2 Revere.
All right, well, I just want to, that's quite a while, 2003. Also, we should definitely have maybe the fire chief
He was invited.
up here, because if there's a problem with, having subcontracted or something to.
Well, maybe the next
do that.
meeting we can do that.
Yeah.
And, when these gentlemen come back and we can get a lot of these
I mean, there's no
ironed
reason
out.
why one of our departments should be holding it up. I don't.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Thank you, Councillor Patch. Thank you, gentlemen, for your appearance here. Oh, I'm sorry, Councillor McKenna?
Hi. This is, it seems like I have the oldest poles in my area. I have 3 poles that are 2007. So Brad Street Ave, Crescent Ave, and I think the other one was Unity, as Mr. Reardon said. So if those could be taken care of, I think those are the oldest poles on this list. It was Brad Street Ave, Crest Ave, and Unity Ave, 2007.
I will, just to be clear, there are at least 5 entities attached to the pole. And I understand that the age of the pole in terms of it being placed is important to all of us in terms of addressing. But again, going back to where we stand currently, everybody has to move down into a position where Verizon can get to that pole.
Right.
And if someone is on that pole, whether it be electric or fire department or whomever, we can't get to that pole until everybody else has moved. So, I think that clearing our queue out and then placing an emphasis on moving the oldest poles into a category so that they can be moved down more quickly makes sense.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor McKenna. Thank you, gentlemen, for your appearance here. And we'll see you next month. Oh, Councilor Janino, I'm sorry.
Is there any way that we can go a little out of order and take up calendar item number 7, out of respect for our police chief?
I was just we're gonna
Awesome.
suspend rules and we're gonna do that. The
Thank
chief's
you.
been sitting here all night. Motion to suspend rules, all in favor? So ordered.
Calendar item number 7, communication from the Chief of Police relative to the Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Assistance Grant Program for fiscal year 2015 local solicitation.
Chief.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the council. This is just a matter of formality that I notify you, the council, that the Revere Police Department will be applying for the Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Assistance Grant to the amount of $21,033. The funding will be used to maintain a part-time community resource coordinator's position and to purchase community outreach education items. The application for this grant will be available for review at my office at the Revere Police Department.
Chief, thank you very much, and thank you for your transparency here this evening. It's appreciated.
Thank you very much.
Placed on file?
Anybody have any questions about
No, no. Placed on file. Yep, regular order of business.
Calendar item number 4, report of the Economic Development Subcommittee.
Councilor Hess.
Mr. President, we met this afternoon at 5:15, and the vote of the subcommittee was basically to send the communication to the Attorney General for his opinion.
Thank you, Councilor. Mr. Chairman. Councilor Zambudo.
Mr. President, if I might offer a minority report, since I did not vote in favor of this. First of all, I've stated my position several times about the fact that the city's in litigation, and being any of this involvement is counterproductive. Secondly, we used to have a counselor up here that sent everything to the Attorney General, and it looks like we're trying to go down that road again. To be looking for a job fair that at best is 3.5, 4 years away. That job fair is not worth the paper it's written on. It is completely political. So for that reason, I give this minority report. Thank you.
Roll call on the minority report.
The motion is simply to go to executive session with this if you want to further discuss it.
First, yeah. On the minority report, roll call.
Roll call on Councilor Zambudo's minority report. Councilor Rigo? No. No. Councilor Gino? No. No. Councilor Guanasso is absent. Councilor Hass?
No.
No. Councilor McKenna?
No.
No. Councilor Morbido? No. No. Councilor Novoselsky? Yes. Yes. Councilor Patch?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Reardon? No. No. Councilor Zambudo? Yes, and Council President Powers.
Yeah, no.
No, the minority report fails.
On the original report.
On Councilor Hass's motion, shall the City Council request a written opinion from the Attorney General's office on motion 15-119? Councilor Rigo? Yes. Yes. Councilor Janino? Yes. Yes. Councilor Guanasso is absent. Councilor Hass?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor McKenna?
No.
No. Councilor Morbido? Yes. Councilor Novoselsky?
No.
No. Councilor Patch?
No.
No. Councilor Reardon?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Zambudo?
No.
No. And Council President Powers?
Yes.
Yes, the motion passes. Calendar item number 5, report of the zoning subcommittee.
Councilor Reardon.
Good evening again, Mr. President. We did meet this evening, the zoning subcommittee, at 5:30 to discuss and review petition C-15-01 from Flight Car 620 Davis Street, San Francisco, California, seeking permission from the Revere City Council to operate a rental car service at 85 American Legion Highway, located in our TED district. The operation of the rental car service is allowed only by special permit within the TED district. The matter was reported out favorably and unanimously so by the members of the subcommittee, and I respectfully ask that the entire City Council vote on the matter this evening.
On the zoning subcommittee report.
Shall the City Council grant the relief requested by Flight Car at 85 American Legion Highway? Councilor Rigo.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Janino.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Guanasso is absent. Councilor Haas. Yes. Councilor McKenna.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Morbido.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Novoselsky. Yes. Councilor Patch.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Reardon.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Zambudo.
Yes.
Yes. And Council President Powers.
Yes.
Yes. The special permit has been granted. Calendar item number 6, communication from the mayor relative to reappointments to various boards and commissions.
Appointment subcommittee.
Calendar item number 8, communication from Nicholas Bua relative to constructing a memorial square for William A. Lanza at the corner of Ann Road and Malden Street.
All in favor? So ordered. Councilor Patch.
Could I make a motion that we pass that, take a vote on it now so they can get started on that?
You don't
Do we need a vote?
No, we just did.
Okay.
Calendar item number 9, communication from the mayor relative to a loan order for CWSRF planning project number 3956 in the amount of $1.7 million for the SSES Phase 7 investigations.
Order to a public hearing.
Calendar item number 10, communication from the mayor relative to a loan order for CWSRF planning project number 3957 in the amount of $800,000 for illicit, that should read, connection detection and elimination planning and inspections.
Order to a public hearing.
Calendar item number 11, communication from the mayor relative to a loan order for CWSRF construction project number 3958 in the amount of $13,450,000 for construction of stormwater and wastewater collection systems capital improvements.
Order to a public hearing.
Calendar item number 12, communication from the mayor relative to a loan order for CWSRF construction project number 3959 in the amount of $2.9 million for construction associated with illicit connection removals.
Order to a public hearing.
Calendar item number 13, communication from the mayor advising the city council that discussion relative to council order 15-119 must take place in executive session.
That'll be placed on file.
Mr. President, I think that should be
Councilor
connected
Novoselsky?
with the motion.
Well,
It's still in committee. Yeah.
no, it's going, well, yeah, it is in committee because, yeah, but it's
If we
going.
can put that with that.
Just put them
pending in
together. That's
committee.
all right.
Thank you.
Calendar item number 14, communication from the mayor relative to the reappointment of Vincent Carbone, 19 Stonecrest Drive, Saugus, Mass. as a constable.
Appointment subcommittee.
Calendar item number 15, communication from the mayor relative to the appointment of Linskey Excavating Company, 47 Jefferson Ave, Salem, Mass. as a licensed drain layer.
Appointment subcommittee.
Calendar item number 16, motion presented by Councilors Morbido, Janino, Arrigo, and Novoselsky. that the-
Councilor Morbido.
Thank you, Mr. President. Last week, the City Council passed a motion to put up signs that read drug-free and alcohol-free zones at all parks throughout the city. It was brought to our attention and suggested by Colleen Argenzio if we could add weapon-free as well as to smoke-free. And we looking into it, we had no problem with that. We discovered, the city clerk discovered that there is no ordinance on the books right now that state that it's illegal to smoke in our parks. Obviously, public drinking and drugs are already in ordinance by law, but smoking in parks and weapons in parks are not included in our city ordinances. I think it's something to take a look at and have create some draft an ordinance, put some detail to it, and I think the end result will be to have a healthy and safe park. throughout the cities.
Thank you, Councilor Morabito. Councilor Janino.
Thank you, Mr. President. I think that this is definitely something that's necessary after the signage came up. I've been working on drafting the ordinance for this, and there's a couple things I want to bring up. First of all, I think an initial reaction was weapons-free in the ordinance, which I'm sure we'll talk about more in my committee, which I'm hoping this goes to. It does not include licensed individuals, so it has nothing to do with the Second Amendment. Those people will be protected under the ordinance, and I want to definitely get that point across immediately because that's very important to me. But I definitely would like to share the draft of the ordinance with the council. I know I sent it out to our city clerk today, and I do look forward to working out the details in committee. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councilor Janino. Those are excellent comments. Councilor Rigo.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I jumped on this motion with Councilor Janino and Councilor Morabito and Councilor Novoselsky when it came to our attention that, as Councilor Morabito had mentioned from Colleen Argenzio, that our ordinances didn't reflect, I think, the intent of what we were trying to do. So I do have to give an awful lot of credit to Councilor Janino for having a first rough draft of the ordinance and making sure that everyone's Second Amendment rights are protected and that that folks who do carry legally would be able to carry. But I think that this is going to be a great thing, and hopefully can standardize future signage and be able to think about how we put up signs and what the message we're trying to convey exactly is. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councilor Rigo. Councilor Novoselsky.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I had seen the ordinance, and I was going to jump on it, but they jumped ahead a
As
little
long
quicker
as someone
for me.
jumped.
Everybody's jumping on this. But I thought it was a great idea when I read it. The only thing I had added that when I talked to the police and we complain about kids being in the park at 1 o'clock in the morning, they say to us, there's no signage and there's no ordinance or anything closing the park. So instead of saying at dusk, which is flexible, the standard time that I've been talking to people about seemed to be 10 o'clock at night. I've seen a lot of the parents out there at 9:30 with the kids on a warm night. So I thought maybe 10 o'clock would be reasonable, but it's flexible as far as what, whatever the committee comes up with. But I think if we put the ordinance in place, then the cops have a little something to bite on when they go to court, or if they arrest anybody or give a ticket to anybody or tell them to get out of the park. So that's
Thank
why,
you,
that's
thank
why I
you,
thought
Councilor
that.
Novoselsky.
So I look forward to moving this forward. Thank you.
Councilor Zambudo.
Thank you, Mr. President. I certainly support this motion. I'm glad that now 3 councilors clarified that licensed handgun carriers such as myself would be allowed to be in these parks, because we don't want a situation where we're eliminating guns that could save somebody's life. However, I think we can fix this ordinance with a simple illegal guns are not allowed. But I think the rest of it is a good step in the right direction, and it gives the police some teeth to keep the kids out of the parks late at night, of course.
Thank you, Councilor Zambudo. Councilor?
Thank you, Mr. President. One last statement. Just want to inform the viewers that ATOD Task Force, Revere Cares Coalition, and Revere on the Move, they've been advocates for this for a long time, and they've been champions. And I just want to let the councils know they're willing to promote this with us, and they want to work hand in hand with us to make sure this is very effective. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Morabito. On the motion, all in favor? So ordered. One thing I'd like to do is I'd like to send this to the police chief to get some input as to the time constraints. I think the police chief can probably best make that determination as to what time the park should be closed. Thank you.
Late motion presented by Councilor Zambudo that the City Council present a certificate of commendation to George Anzuoni, Revere Housing Authority Chairman, for being selected as the 2015 Regional Commissioner of the Year.
Councilor Zambudo.
Thank you, Mr. President. I certainly will save most of my comments for the presentation. However, this is quite a prestigious award, and I just didn't think it should go unrecognized. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Zambudo. On the motion, all in favor, so ordered.
Late motion presented by Councilor Powers that the mayor request the building inspector to complete an inspection of the premises located at 570 Revere Beach Boulevard to determine the structural integrity of the building and report his findings to the City Council within 14 days.
This is a building that's been down there for years, and more recent years, it's become deplorable. I believe parts of the roof are missing. I know parts of the roof are missing. One side of the building is, the north side of the building seems to be buckling and caving in. You know, we've got people down there that have expensive homes, $60,000, $70,000 price range, and I don't think this is something that they should have to look at, or when people come to, I'm sorry, yeah, my colleagues are laughing. What I meant to say was $600,000 or $700,000 price range, okay? Laugh all you want. And, but I also want to mention that today, the building department is issuing an order to the owner to demolish the building or otherwise make it safe. The building inspector's determination is that full demolition is the only way to make the property safe. The order will be posted at the property and serve notice today, which will give the owner until 12 noon tomorrow to demolish the property. I think it's going to take them a little longer than that. But I would like to see that building taken down within the next week, and I don't see any reason why it can't be. And that order was issued today. So the residents down there, I hope, will be very pleased with this, getting rid of that building. Thank you very much. And any other motions?
Late motion presented by Councilor Patch that the mayor request the DPW to paint appropriate traffic lines and lane indicators along Washington Avenue and Linden Square.
Councilor Patch.
Thank you, Mr. President. This has turned into, as you know, the traffic down there has been really, really bad. It's like starting at like 3 in the afternoon, and if people cut down, it goes into, as you know, it goes into 2 lanes at the end at the light on Linden Square, and sometimes people try to go head on with traffic coming. I believe it's south, and I just think that it's created quite a public safety hazard. So I think the sooner they get the lines painted, maybe it will help a little bit. Plus, we maybe can get some enforcement down there. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Patch. Seeing no other business before us, there is something else?
The late communication from the mayor relative to the proposed fiscal year 2016 operating budget.
Placed on file. Oh. Yeah, send it to Ways and Means. That's all right.
Mr. President.
Yeah. Motion what? Oh, let's go to Ways and Means first. Let's look at it.
Mr. President, if I could have a motion of personal privilege.
You certainly can.
I understand that our former mayor, Mr. Thomas Ambrosino, has been awarded the city manager's job in the city of Chelsea. So I want to make sure we all
good news.
give him a shout out.
And I know from working with Tom Ambrosino that he will do an excellent job in the city of Chelsea and every matter before him. This council will stand adjourned until June 22nd, 2015. Thank you.